Hello, everybody. We have a couple of you out there. Thanks for living in our stress-free technology world.
Yeah. I want to thank Carrie for talking me off a ledge a minute ago, trying to figure this out. So she's like, there will be no stressing out. I'm like, easy for you to say. Yes, it is easy for you to say. That's right.
Yep. So not worth it. It's just a little technology.
Right. So let's make sure we have some fun on tonight's chat. And whoever is here, I can't see. A couple of people are on the line. So please feel free to ask questions and engage with us. We are happy to keep the conversation going and having a little bit of fun. So I am Dr. Teralyn Karrie, and I'm a holistic psychology pro is what I call myself, because I look at mental health from a holistic perspective. And every month I invite somebody on to give us more information, because I like to provide good quality content to people who want to listen. So today I have my friend Carrie here, and she is what do you want to call yourself, Carrie? Besides a recovering nurse.
Yes, definitely a recovering nurse. I am a de-stress specialist now. I help people just not let technology in the world get them down. So, whatever the stress is, we're here to help just kind of find some peace in your day. I originally, as she said, am a nurse of 26 years, and I'm burned out in healthcare, and now am a holistic nutritionist and stress reduction specialist. So we do everything holistically, trying to help people just kind of bring that stress level down, get their health under control, and thrive.
I have to say, so there's been a couple of comments on the side here that said it looks like we're frozen. Maybe that's because I'm in Wisconsin and I am freezing. I'm not sure. But says, I'm glad they didn't freeze with funny looks on their faces. We could make that happen if you want. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. So I'm thinking everything is going well with technology right now. Yeah. All right. So I actually like this platform. It's not too bad. So okay. Oh, that's you. See, my little chat bar is covering up the names, so I can't see who it is. All right. So let's get started with this conversation and talk about stress and sleep. So let's talk about stress in general. How prevalent is stress in the general population?
Well, you probably could ask anybody and you'll get a little I'm stressed, or this is what I stress over. But the American Psychological Association actually this year had to put out 2 reports. One in, I think it was February, and another in November. Usually they only do an annual report. And they say that 80% of the population is stressed.
80%
of the population. Holy and a portion of them, over 50%, are already at burnout level, whether it be with their work, their life. You've got a lot of people trying to burn the candle at both ends. And, in healthcare, it's even higher. And the sad thing is only about 20% of the population does anything for stress reduction. So they don't, everybody knows that report actually said that 56% of the people knew that they needed to reduce their stress, but they're not actually doing anything about it. So it is kind of a sad state. And the overall stress that people have isn't really higher this year than the prior year. It's just now it takes its effect on people. And so I say it's that accumulative stress. You get stressed, it kind of helps you, in the old days, run from the tiger and be able to live. But we're on this continual hamster wheel of stress, and people just don't know how to just slow down and take time and just be present.
I think our
still really choppy.
You don't look choppy to me, so I'm not really sure what's happening. I'm going to say it again. She said 80% of the population. So that's the percentage that is. Oh, wait. What percentage is that burnout level? That's different than 80%.
80% are stressed.
Stressed. How many are at burnout level? Over half. And it's funny because, you know, I work with other healthcare providers too as clients as well. And so we talk about that word burnout, and it's interesting because we go to like seminars on how to relieve burnout and whatever, and all they talk about in there is how to streamline your business so that you're not so burned out in your business. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure there's more to it than
work
that.
smarter, not harder.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, that sounds ridiculous, you know? And I'm like, I don't think that's what they're talking about when they talk about stress and burnout for real. So this is a great conversation, because I guess some of the biggest things I think of are what can we do to help relieve our stress daily, because I think that's like the biggest struggle, and also how do we improve our sleep, because I know sleep and stress are related a lot. So what do you know about that?
Well, the biggest thing I think is people actually taking time for themselves. A lot of people think that personal care, you know, and people say self-care, but it's that downtime. It is scheduled downtime every day. And think about if you had kids, when your kids were really little, you made sure they got a nap, you made sure they got to bed on time. And when they got crabby, you fed them or you put them to bed. I mean, those are the things that you do. And as adults, we've nixed the naps in our society, that it's kind of considered the lazy person takes a nap, and that sleep is for whatever's left at the end of the day. After I get everything done and I try to cram in one more thing, whatever I have left is sleep. But if you really start to look at overall health and stress, sleep is probably the number one thing. We have a society that is overrun with disease and obesity, and they're now saying that sleep is more important than exercise. So let me tell you, I would rather take a good nap than run on a treadmill.
Exactly.
I'm all for sleep.
I like the way you think. Yes, exactly. Now, somebody has a question here real quick. It says, do you know how much that is having to do with day-to-day life versus past emotional trauma?
You know, it's the combination of the two. When you look at people who reach burnout level as adults, if you've had childhood trauma, I believe the statistic is that you're 80% more likely to hit a burnout level, as well as post-traumatic stress disorder. And you'll also have a higher risk of adrenal fatigue. Now, some people don't like that term. They don't agree with it. But bottom line is that you have created such a level of chronic stress. Think of it like congestive heart failure is a chronic disease that everybody knows. It's that huffing and puffing. And, you know, over time, your heart doesn't work well and your lungs don't work well. Well, chronic stress does the exact same thing. It's just your body reacts in a different way. You look absolutely healthy on the outside, but on the inside, you are sick as can be. And so people hit the point of absolute collapse when it gets really bad. I had it to the point where I couldn't function. It was pretty severe. And I've had some clients who, you know, they go into this, either they don't sleep for days and days and days, or that's all they want to do. That's kind of where I had it. It was so bad that all I wanted to do is sleep, get up in the morning, and you're not refreshed. And and every once in a while, you kind of burn the candle at both ends. And so, I wake up, I'm still tired. But if you have that day after day after day, there's something really going on that's wrong within your body. And it's 9 times out of 10, I would say, related to the stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I struggled with, well, I'm sure if it would have been a physician diagnosing, it would have been chronic fatigue syndrome, I'm sure. But yeah, adrenal fatigue was huge for me about 1.5 years ago, to the point where all I wanted to do was nap, 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 nap. And my husband would be like, we're camping and you want to take a nap? I'm like, yes, I do. Like it got to the point where I was daydreaming about taking a nap. Like that sounded like the best idea to me, or couldn't wait to get home and put on the pajamas, or, it would start off at the beginning of the day. I had a lot of good ideas about what I would like to do and accomplish. And then by 2:00, I had a severe case of the I don't wannas and just would go home, put on some jammies and do a whole lot of nothing, so it's pretty, it's terrible because it really just makes your life this big,
Yeah.
it's crippling.
Yeah. So when I got to that point, I felt like, I said, I was a failure. Felt like I had failed my profession.
Mm-hmm.
I had failed my husband because I wasn't the wife I wanted to be. And I surely wasn't the mom I wanted to be.
Right.
You're not enjoying life. You're just getting through the day. And you just feel like you're kind of running through this, just everything's in slow motion as far as your body and your thoughts, but the world just spins around you.
Right.
That is no way to live.
No, I had the case of the wired and tired at the same time. So
Yes.
I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't sleep for the life of me, like, oh, it was terrible. It was a vicious cycle. So the question is, how do you get out of that chronic fatigue? Well, wouldn't you like to know?
Some of like the biggest, like quick, easy things you're just like, really, that's going to help me is good sleep hygiene. Kind of like what you did with your kids, if you had that, is you have a routine and you set, ideally about 9 o'clock, you start kind of into that winding down, no blue screens, TVs, computers, so that you're getting your body ready. And then you want to be in bed by 10 o'clock. And with your really, that wired and tired, typically you have to hit that 10 o'clock. Otherwise, it's going to be at 2 o'clock. It's because of another cycle of circadian rhythm. It's not circadian rhythm, but it's just this next cycle of hormones within you and your cortisol and everything. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that is a quick and easy, I have clients do this and they get really good success, is adding about 1/4 of a cup of starchy resistant carbs to their dinner. And meaning like 1/4 of a cup of black beans, chickpeas, sweet potato, plantains. I'm allergic to bananas, so I have not tried that one specifically, but it doesn't take a lot. You just need about 1/4 of a cup and a little bit of starchy carb for your lunch. And typically that will help stabilize the cortisol levels throughout the night so that you don't have that peak and valley. And it's slow, so you don't have a huge insulin bump, because when you get an insulin bump, then your cortisol goes up, and then your cortisol goes up, and then you wake up.
Yep, exactly. Right, because I always tell my clients to have a little protein snack before bed if they wake up at 2 o'clock. And so I like the idea that you're talking about food here, because the other part is making sure your blood sugar is relatively stabilized throughout the day. Otherwise, that you're stressing your body over and over again every time you hit into low blood sugar, and so you're feeling less energized, less alert, less, so it is really, part of it is fueling your body throughout the day as well. And it's kind of the last thing that you really think about, last thing that you want to do, but it's the first thing you need to kind of adjust, because we starve ourselves all day long,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And, and then about
wonder why we feel like crap. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I feel terrible. I haven't eaten since yesterday, or whatever.
The other thing is that, so the one of the programs that my partner, Dr. Barbara von Mettenheim, and I have put together is called Nursing Nidra, and it's on the backbone of Yoga Nidra. And so Yoga Nidra is a meditative sleep. It's kind of called the yogi sleep. And what's really beneficial about it is that it gets you into a deep meditative but yet awake and aware state. And what they've been able to find is that people who use diabetics, who actually are taking glucose medications for their diabetes, they actually have been able to show with research that they have better glucose control when they do Yoga Nidra.
Oh, wow.
So that deep meditation, we could call it, it's a awake and aware, pure awareness, where you actually get to the point where I say, for the ladies, that mean girl in your head, she finally shuts up. I mean, you actually can shut her up. It took me years. And you think about, those mean things that we say to ourselves, that we would never say to somebody that we love. And we sure would never let somebody talk to somebody that we love like that. Well, when you get into this, and we use this technique with nursing nidra, you get into this state where she's quiet and you are in pure awareness. And that not only improves your glucose control, but it also improves the gray matter in your brain. The more that people meditate, the more gray matter that they have. And so we're realizing now that, we used to think like, 18, 19, your brain is all done. Well, they're now showing that your brain doesn't stop developing, I think until like 26 it is.
It's between 25 and 30 in there. Yeah.
Oh, so, okay. So, but then you can change the brain mapping in your head and improve gray matter. And, we believe that Alzheimer's is related to a decrease in gray matter and the calcification. So if you're increasing that gray matter, maybe we could do some things to not have these chronic conditions later. But again, it's people slowing down and stopping and creating that time for themselves and taking care of themselves as much as they would for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And I think the question still is, but how? And, because it seems like a massive undertaking. And I don't know that it has to be so massive, because I know, so I have 3 kids and they're mostly grown now. My youngest is 16 all the way up to 27, but they're mostly grown. But I still, to me, my life feels like it's not any different than when they were toddlers. Like, I feel like it hasn't changed that much.
The activities just change.
They do. They do. The activities do just change. But it's like, wow, fitting another yoga class into my life or some big thing into my life. Can you help us to understand what are some small things we can do to improve the moments, rather than making, an hour of gym time plus the prep before and the slow down afterwards? What are some real simple things we can?
First, I'll tell you the beauty of yoga nidra that's part of nursing nidra can be done in as short as 10 minutes. And usually it's a guided meditation. So, you just put in your headphones, you listen, we kind of guide you through creating this, just slowing down. The other is to reconnect with the breath. I know it sounds goofy, and for anybody out there, if they go right now on our website, we have a free download for alternate nostril breathing. And it shows you how you can, and we're talking 20 breaths and you can just slow down. And so sometimes it's just creating that awareness. And I teach nurses that when you go into get a medication, because it's multiple times throughout the day, to try to find something that you do frequently and tie it to that activity. Where even if it's just deep breathing, people can, for example, you can take a big deep breath and blow it out without any expression on your face. Mm-hmm. And you kind of feel that. Now take a big deep breath in and smile and let it out.
It's different.
And it's amazing how much different it feels.
It's very different.
Like and so it's, we go around and we get so busy. And I always say, we get wrapped up in the chaos of the day. But we're so disconnected from our bodies. And so if you just kind of come back, we do a lot of things with hands, because we're constantly fiddling, we touch things, we're on keyboards, is that if you can just notice your hands, take the time to focus on your hand, really feel your thumb, feel each of your individual fingers and feel it, and then feel the other hand. And then kind of go back and forth and then feel them together. And it's like, wow. A lot of times by the time people get to the feeling together, they're like, oh my gosh, the mean girl quieted again. Everything quiets, everything stops, because you're reconnecting with you and that divine goodness within yourself that we just kind of shove along and, go about the day. Just tell her be quiet,
Right. Ginny says, I don't know how to do all this with kids.
Well, what's amazing is you can do it with your kids.
I was thinking that actually. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I actually, 3 days, I do twice a week at the school. I actually go in and teach them yoga nidra and how to just be quiet. And one of the little kids I asked, I think it was a second grader, I said, do you guys like doing this? And it takes anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, depends on their age frame that I do it with them. And he said, yes, just these few minutes in the morning, I feel like I just want to learn. And I'm so
nice.
calm.
Yeah.
A second grader.
Right.
And we think, well, every second grader should be calm. But, they notice it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're stressed out as parents, I always say we are the barometers for our children's stress level too, from the time that they're babies,
Oh, yeah.
If you're stressed out holding your baby will not calm down. No. And this goes on for their whole life. As you were thinking of, or as you were talking about that, I used to own some daycare centers, and I thought, dang, this would have worked really well in the daycares. So that's an awesome idea. And I also think I've been kind of getting in.
One of the groups that I do, it's the preschool. So they're 3, 4, and 5. And there's 22 of them.
Right.
So if I can do 22 little kids, and they're so darn cute. Some of them want to roll. But, you really can get them to just calm down. And the teacher, one of the teachers, she said to me, I can totally tell the difference on the days that you calm versus the days that you don't.
Yeah.
And I said, I hope that's in a good, she said, yeah, it really does help them. So, I think that's one of the things is that it's kind of like walking. We'll tell people, just take the stairs, 3, 4 times, or park further away, or do 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. This is the same way. If you can just stop and take a breath, even in those 5-10 minutes, to just slow down. I'm going to share a story the other day. Barbara, my work partner,
she's on here.
Yeah, she said she was here. Hey, Barbara, we love you. She, the other day, had just a horrendous day at work, was in one of those, witchy moods that, oh my God, what else do you want from me kind of thing. And I called her in the midst of it. And she's like, I cannot talk right now. I got to go do some nursing nidra. I'm like, okay, call me when you're done. 20 minutes later, she called, and it's like, she was like, the sun is shining again. I feel fabulous. It's amazing that in 20 minutes I could totally turn myself around. So it's kind of, once you start it and you realize how beneficial it is, you strive to get those little pieces in there, and you know what a difference it can make for you. It does. The other thing that's really cool about it is when you do yoga nidra or nursing nidra, the difference, yoga nidra is just a small portion, and then we put mindset as well as, eat those starchy carbs at night, so that the holistic kind of package to it. But those little bits that you do really help you sleep too. So, we started out with, how do I sleep better and how do I get there? Well, some of the things that you do during your day can actually make it better at night. And one of the other things, I did a class a couple weeks ago, and I told them, we all get, a lot of us have essential oils, and I know that you do a lot of essential oils with your clients.
Yep.
But people don't realize, they're like, I got to diffuse it, or I got to mix it, and how much do I put it with, this and that. I mean, if you're stressed, carry a thing of peppermint oil in your purse. You just take them, sniff it.
Just stick it up to your face. Yes.
Huffing at its best, that is good for you.
I think we make it too hard with oils. We make it too hard. Like, what am I supposed to do? And what concoction do I have? And I'm like, do you realize that most of the best concoctions are already made? Like, they've got some really awesome blends that do a lot of wonderful things, or just straight out of the bottle, And I have found that using one of those blends and other straight oil in my diffuser at night has been so helpful. And I had to go through a couple of different selections to really get the ones that work the best for me to make sure that I do sleep deeper. And it works great. And as we were talking about before, kind of backing up a little bit with the sleep, you know, some of us sleep with somebody next to us that likes the TV on. And
I feel for you.
let me tell you, it has been a 25-year struggle. And no matter how hard I try to say, listen, I can't sleep, you know, I can't, I just can't. He'll look at me and go, oh yeah, you, I could tell you were sleeping. And I'm like, right, but I'm waking up and going back and waking up and going back. So the things that have helped me with that are actually, I started off with an eye pillow, you know, one of those eye pillow things.
Like the spa ones?
Yep, the spa eye pillow just to relax. And then I flip over to a mask. And that's only been like the last 6 months. So it took me 24 and a half years to figure out that an eye mask helps if you have a partner that's kind of unwilling. I love him dearly, but he's kind of unwilling to get rid of that. But I keep telling him it will help him too if he gets rid of that darn TV. But we have a TV fan thing going on, so he's I like the fan, he likes the TV, and I said, well, I won't turn the fan off until you turn the TV off. So here we go. 25 years.
Luckily, I won that battle. I was like, there's no TV in our room, and the fan is on.
Yeah, you did win. I need to talk to you more. Like, how do you win those battles, you know?
Yeah. But well, you know, for sleep, some essential oils, I mean, typical sleep, lavender. I mean, most people are pretty responsive to that. The tip about lavender for any of you that are out there that want to buy lavender is make sure it's a lavender that you like, because there's about three different kinds.
Yeah, there is.
So you get it and you're like, ooh, this smells like a pine tree.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I have to look them up. But, you know, if you're going to order lavender, make sure you get the kind that you like.
And lavender doesn't smell like perfume grade lavender anyway, like real lavender. So I think people get disappointed because they go and get the perfume sprays lavender and it smells very flowery. But a real essential oil lavender has a very different, distinct smell that's not as
I think it smells more rosemary.
Probably. Yeah. It's actually got a little bit more of a bite to it, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, and it smells like a plant.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have it out in your garden, it'll smell like that. So, but anyway, just a lavender.
That's a good tip
for people.
Yeah, actually, the one that I like.
Frustrated.
Yeah, the one that I put in is a lavender blend. So, yeah. So because I don't really care for straight up lavender like that. It's too powerful for me. But you know, but it's good. So you got to figure out the stuff that works for you. So let's see. Sleep hygiene. Oh, an evening bath. That's what we have on here.
Yes, a bath is amazing. Now that's one of those things. I'll be with you. That one is harder to get in, but if we can get in the habit of it, is that even a shower will work, but a bath, 20 minutes soaking in the tub can really help de-stress. I like to tell clients to add, I say, if you're going to take the time to fill the tub, make it worth it.
That's right.
And so add typically about 2 cups of Epsom salt and a half a cup of baking soda and a capful, which I don't really know how much it is, of buffered vitamin C. And then
interesting.
The buffered vitamin C, especially if you have well water, it's probably not as necessary, but the vitamin C helps pull the chemicals from city water so that it's not you're not absorbing that, and you absorb the magnesium from the Epsom salt better. So
that sounds lovely. And I tell people, if you don't have a bath, you can soak your feet in Epsom salt, and that does help too. The bath is a little bit lovelier, but you know, if you don't have a bath, or
you can get somebody to rub them after you get out of the bath.
You're really going to push my husband to all new levels tonight.
Yeah, you know what? 20 years of mine are like, yeah, I love your feet, but I ain't rubbing them.
Exactly.
I have
You're like, I'm not rubbing your feet and I'm not turning the TV off. So
I know. I know. I said, I have a son. I said, maybe I could teach him how to rub. And he's like, Mom, I am not rubbing your feet. I'll rub your back every once in a while, but I'm not rubbing your feet. I'm like,
right? Dang it. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. I actually think that I'm kind of going through our notes of what we wanted to make sure that we cover. Does anything come to mind that you believe that you missed? There's something on here about medication. I don't know what you wanted to talk about medication under what to do to decrease stress.
Oh, I bet I misspelled meditation.
Okay.
Meditation.
Medication. I'm like, okay.
Medication these days.
Yeah. So we talked about breathing, eating better, improving your sleep, and of all things, like you said, sleep is primary, and it also, so a lot of the work that I do has to do with genetic code and things like that too. So, your genetic code doesn't really, the bad ones don't really flip on until we're under large amounts of stress, and that starts with sleep typically, or a traumatic event can also flip on some of those bad gene snips that we might have. So it's important to take care of yourself with nutrition, with sleep. But I'm kind of with everybody else. Like, I need those 10 minutes of time to improve those moments, rather than thinking, oh gosh, I have to spend an hour of my time, trying to squeeze in yoga. I mean, I do try to squeeze in a yoga class like once a week, but which is nice, when I do that. But during my busy day, I see clients hour by hour by hour. You'd be surprised at some of the things that I do in between time, whether it's dancing in my office with the door shut or, taking a nap on my couch. I've done that,
And especially this time of year. One of the things I tell people, and we just did a little holiday guide that you can download on our website, but one of them is say no. Say no. It is probably the biggest thing that you have control over that you feel like you don't. Don't abdicate your power to others. You can just simply say no. No, thank you. No, but thank you for asking. I've learned that one with the kids because, hey, can I have another blah, blah, blah? No, but thank you for asking.
Right.
Could you take me to the store? No, but thank you for asking.
Right. No, I'm a serial overcommitter. I mean, I overcommit a lot.
You've got to decide what truly is important that needs to be done. Like tonight, you could have gotten really, really stressed out because the technology wasn't there. And it's like, you know what? If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I can tell you a year ago, I would have been flipping out. I would not have been like, oh, well, hey, maybe we can just do this other platform. It would have been cussing. I would have been sweating. And today, my husband was in here. We're in Las Vegas. We're not even home. And in a hotel room. And I'm like, I don't know. It'll work. Maybe, maybe not. And he's like, wow, you're pretty calm.
You're
I said, this stuff really works. And the more that you learn to take care of yourself, the more that it just rolls off you. It's kind of like, you hear people say, oh, just be a duck, let the water roll off your back. And you're like thinking, a duck, heck, I'm ready to whack somebody.
Exactly.
But it gets to where you kind of as your mom, choose your battles. Well, choose what you're going to stress over. Choose what's really worth it. And is it, I see people, we were at the mall the other day and just watching people go crazy over something to put in paper, to put under a tree to hand to somebody. And I was just like, is that really what this is all about? The perfect gift? Yes, you want it to be heartfelt, but did it make you feel good? No, if you enjoy going out and doing the hunt for the ultimate gift, then don't let me rain on your parade. But for those people that don't enjoy it or they don't enjoy Christmas cards, don't do it. Nobody says you have to do it. And it's the things, the I have to's. Get rid of it. Barbara is great about helping us reframe our language. You know, I have to, I should, oh my gosh, I didn't. To change them to, I choose to do this today. I choose to waste my time. I choose to be lazy, and to do it, you know, with like, this is what I am deciding I'm going to spend my time with. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We have the same amount of days prepped up to Christmas. Now, some people have more family expectations and this and that.
Right.
And, you know, you do what you can do. One word to the wise I will add out there is a lot of people, I won't say a lot, but there's a fraction of people who like to self-medicate with the liquid libations for the holidays to get through their family times, and just do it and enjoy it. Don't feel like you have to use it to mute the way that you feel. And it's okay to feel. That's the other thing, is that we get to so much in our society that we don't want to feel.
Right.
And it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. And it's a feeling in which you have, it's not you being. And so I don't even like to say I am really angry. No, it's I'm feeling really angry, or your behavior is irritating me because. And because then again, it's that choice. You get to choose whether you're going to respond or whether you're going to react. And now let me tell you, I get upset and frustrated, so it's not like this works all the time. But you know, you use the 80-20 rule. If 80% of the time you can control your emotions, chances are your life in your household is going to be pretty darn happy.
Right. I agree. It is a huge choice. So
yeah.
All right.
Well,
so
it kind of makes me go back to, you know, as a nurse. So you come from that therapy background. You know, people who get hospitalized with mental health disorders, 99 times out of 10, one of the nursing diagnoses we say, poor use of leisure time, is a diagnosis. That's what we'd say. So take your leisure time and make it your choice, and do those things that feel good for you. You know, sometimes you have to get off Facebook, or, you know, do 24 hours of no texting or no telephone. Or if the phone is what, you know, gives you joy, pick up the phone and call somebody and have a chat with them. But do the things that truly matter to you and bring you joy, not because I have to.
Right. No, those are great, great examples. And I think we all could use some of that to improve the moments that we're in, you know.
Well, and teaching our kids, you know, that they don't have to say yes to everything, and it's all a choice.
Right. So were you going to post some links then after we're done, or can you post a link to your website underneath the event thing?
I can. You know what? If
on here,
actually, I'll just put it in here. Oops, I lost you guys. Okay. If we go to nursingnidra.com, on the front page, there's a little banner up there, and you can download a little video showing you how to do alternate nostril breathing. And again, 20 breaths, and you can really slow yourself down and feel better. And then there's also, on the latest blog, is the 5 tips to survive the holidays.
Oh, nice.
Being the, you know, it's okay to say no. I'd get rid of the I have to's and change your verbiage to choosing, or I get to. And then, shoot, now I'm going to forget what
That's okay.
Anyway, go to nursingnidra.com, click on the banners at the top, and you can get those, as well as the latest blog that'll give you the 5 tips to surviving the holidays and stressing a little less.
Nice. Everyone needs that. All right. Yeah. Well, I don't think that we have anything left to talk about on here. I'm sure we could find something if we wanted to, but you know. All right. Are you ready to sign off?
I am. So thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to sharing more with you and anybody who's stressed. Just number one, take a breath. know you're important and that you matter, and that you matter enough to take care of you.
That's absolutely right.
As Barbara says, you cannot pour from an empty vessel.
That's
so
true.
People need you. You need them. Fill yourself up too.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah. Or to take care of yourself.
Right.
You deserve it. So.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, Karrie. It was a fun conversation despite all the technical troubles. So
hey, you know what? We make it work.
We did. All right. Well, take care and enjoy your time in Vegas.
All right. Thanks so much. You guys. Merry Christmas.
Yep. Bye-bye.